This is Jake Gates reporting from Union University Hospital, where I've heard reports of a potentially fatal medication error happening. Let's go find out some more. I'm here with Nurse Sarah to get some more insight on the day of incident. Can you tell us more about that day?
I remember being a new nurse and I had just completed my bachelor's degree and I was like so proud of myself. It was right around Christmas time, just a normal day at work. I had never worked with Mrs. Mays before, so when she came in, she was used to being treated here, so I was used to her being treated here too. And so I got her order in, I checked the chart, and I knew the chemotherapy drug looked a little off. The dosage was a little bit high, but I was like, oh, it's a new drug, it must be fine. So unfortunately, I went ahead and administered the drug, and she left quickly, her chart went with her, and it wasn't until I sat down at the end of the day that I realized I never charted that medicine, let me go back and do it. And I just felt a lump in my throat because I looked at the dosage and realized I had given 2.5 times the amount of drug that was supposed to be given. And so I knew I had to report it, which could potentially cost me my job, but it also could potentially have cost her life, so I knew I had to speak up. So I told my manager, and luckily my manager responded very positively of, let's just go check and make sure you actually made this mistake. And so we checked, and unfortunately we did find 4 vials of the medicine in the trash, and I had in fact given the wrong dose. And all I remember thinking is, I'm about to kill this patient right around Christmas time. Her family is gonna hate me pretty much. So it was a really hard day.
Going back to that day, what could you have done to prevent this?
I think going back to that moment, not letting the busyness of the day distract me from doing the correct dose calculation and really making sure that what I was giving was, number 1, what was ordered, and number 2, a safe dose for that patient.
Regarding this specific situation, can you tell us about Sarah as a nurse?
Sarah is a wonderful nurse. She's always so careful and so conscious of everything that's going on. It honestly surprised me when she came into my office. She was so distraught. She knew that she had made this error, but honestly, I did not think she had. So my first thing to her was, well, let's go look and make sure that you actually did this and that you're not just thinking that you did this. So we did. We left and we went through the trash can. Unfortunately, she had given the 4 vials. But it was to my disbelief because Sarah is such a wonderful nurse. She double checks, triple checks everything, and she is the type of nurse that I would put in my family in her hands.
I am here in the patient's home. What can you tell us about the situation?
Well, I came into the hospital for my normal chemo treatment and I thought everything went well, and I left and I went home, and then I got a call from my doctor and he said that my nurse had given me the wrong dose. And she had given me like 2.5 times what I was supposed to get. And so I had to rush back into the hospital, and they were able to give me some medication to reduce my symptoms, but I was still really sick for about a month. But I'm really thankful that Sarah came forward and talked to her superiors and told them, because if she hadn't, I would have been a lot sicker and I probably could have died.
We hope this story inspires all healthcare professionals to come forward with any errors during treatment. Now, back to Professor Mullins with sports.